Welcome to one of my brainstorming sessions. I'm here today to talk to you a little bit about what we've been doing, and what we're trying to do as far as working with the reentry population, the marginalized and disenfranchised folks, whether they're youth or adults. So I'm just kind of welcoming you into my world, so to speak. Get you to see what we got going on here as far as the work around reentry and doing a little bit of outreach. That's one of the more important aspects to this is being able to do the type of outreach that is effective, and it has the ability to reach folks that not only the ones that have the need to be served, but also the ones that can serve that need. In other words, those employers, those corporations, those institutions that are able to actually provide the resource that is needed for the individuals that we're trying to serve in our community among these populations that we've identified. So, you can help me work with this. So, there's a lot going on. If you notice, as far as Timelist, me as the director of Timelist programs and the work that we've been doing at Timelist, it requires a lot of fundraising. It requires a lot of going to donors and asking donors, hey, help us come out of pocket and support this great cause, this great movement of sorts. And oftentimes that can be very exhausting. That very, very exhausting. Constantly going out and asking for money, constantly trying to get folks to see the vision, support the vision, and everybody don't have it. Usually the individuals that's sitting behind the other side of the screen and watching these type of presentations are usually people that are moved and touched by the work, but oftentimes don't have the resource themselves to support such a very important cause or mission. So I just want to throw some things so you can kind of maybe you can see where you can get in there and support and help such a mission and a vision such as ours. Like I said, the population is the reentry population primarily that we are focused on. The marginalized, meaning folks that have barriers, people that has been marginalized because they're been racially profiled or criminal background history, even if they're not currently in reentry. The disadvantaged folks that's considered low income, come from low income families, don't have the resources to attend school or pay for school because of their social structures and these things. So, we have the workforce, you have the outreach. Now, the outreach, like I said, these corporations that are out there that I spelled that wrong. Corporation. So corporations um, uh, that are able to that are willing to take that chance, willing to take that risk to possibly hire someone that has, not the best background, take them on as an employee, and if there's training that's needed, maybe that's something that we can be responsible for, giving them the training that they need, whether it's in construction, whether it's in the tech industry, which we know is difficult for someone like that to get into. But even other lower level jobs, but that pays decent. We have the Clean 360 soap factory, which is something that we've really been pushing really hard to get folks to support as a social enterprise. So you have the corporations, we have um, businesses, whether large or small, that are willing to, take an application from someone like this and not hold it against them that they have a criminal history. So these are some things that where we have to do our outreach, and that outreach doesn't necessarily have to be from our staff base, but these can be coming from the advocacy groups. So a lot of the outreach need to happen with those groups, the advocacy workers, people that are doing advocacy in this area, and they should be out there and they should be a part of this outreach mission that we have going on. The outreach should definitely be to, lawmakers, people that are actually making laws that are part of this whole system that, that's often the one that's makes it difficult for someone like this. Um, um, County, uh, local government, the outreach needs to be happening here. And even, private institutions, uh, right? Private institutions that may have something to offer, that's willing to employ someone, taking them on. I worked in the private school sector, and I was formerly incarcerated, or I am formerly incarcerated person, and I actually worked in a private school. So then we start talking about what are the type of jobs, what are the type of areas normally someone like this are looking for, or we are looking to try to get them into. So, like I said, we already have the soap factory. We have the soap factory that we're aiming to really try to beef up, so to speak. You have often construction. You always hear people talk about construction. You also have, like culinary work, um, and there's other areas as well. So electrical workers, electricians, because sometimes individuals that's formerly incarcerated, some of the trades that they offer there are somewhat related to this, like carpentry and stuff like that. Um, these type of jobs, which still kind of falls in this construction area as well. So, and even workers in this field itself, like reentry coaches, peer counselors, you know, and other types of specialists. So if we can beef up, if we can really, put a lot of emphasis on the workforce where the nonprofits actually generate, revenue, um, if the nonprofits themselves generate revenue through the workforce development that's taking place, then it makes it much easier for us to kind of not be so reliant upon fundraising and donations. So if we can build this thing up, then we're going in the right direction. So this is why it's so important to have these corporations. So give you an example. So let's use the soap factory for example. If okay, we're producing over 350 bars of soap, and let's just look at the soap. These other products, bars of soap a day, and we get a contract over here with a corporation, businesses, advocacy work that's kind of like going out and reaching these people, right? And as well as the lawmakers get people to buy into this whole development, and then we have contracts where people are purchasing in bulk and or wholesale uh, products from the Clean 360 soap factory, then that helps us to beef up the factory. It helps us to actually be able to employ a lot more folks. Y'all have heard me in other previous videos talk about, employing people in the factory, supporting the factory, buy the soap, so that we can employ. Y'all been hearing me say that a lot, but I just kind of want to make it a little bit more comprehensive, what I've been saying all along, and to try to paint a picture, so to speak, of what we're trying to do. So there's small business. It may be, say, Whole Foods, for example. Um, You know, you got Whole Foods. We have a contract where they purchase, you know, 10,000 bars of soap from us a month. You know, now with that kind of demand, we're producing 350 bars of soap a day. You know, to reach this mark, obviously we're going to have to employ more people. But if we have multiple contracts that are similar like that, what that means for us, that means that we don't always have to go to the businesses and corporations to necessarily say, hey, how are our people? But instead, if they're, you know, involved in this whole process, or they're, you know, taking folks and employing them in these other areas, and then also in this area, then it kind of you can kind of see what can happen. You know, it's not a mystery that if we have something going on like this, that we can really make a huge impact on the folks that are in reentry, that are people that are marginalized, people that are disenfranchised in our communities, and it doesn't take a lot. In fact, some of the revenue that we're generating from the proceeds from the soap factory could actually go into training in these other areas, you know. So now we're able to pay for the training, you know, and this is similar to our emancipator program. So now we're able to pay for training in these other areas that I've mentioned here, right? We can pay for training, and even as counselors, which doesn't require as much training. But now, through the revenue, through contracts, whether it's through corporations, businesses, the county, local government, institutions, private institutions, places like I gave an example, Whole Foods, you know, barbershops, beauty salons, etc. Now we're doing big things. Now we're doing big things. We got big contracts where we have to generate a lot of this, and they can pay for their own training through the generation of the amount of soap and bath products that are being produced. It's a win-win situation, folks. It's a win-win situation. And we have to understand this. And this is the work. This is what I'm racking my brains about all the time. And this is why I'm kind of inviting you into my space today, you know, to, you know, really think about it. And, you know, this is why I'm definitely, we always willing to, you know, accept what you have to offer, your input. We definitely going to continue to fundraise and ask for donations. We are a nonprofit, but you know, as you can see, we wouldn't be so heavily reliant upon, you know, donation and fundraising if we are able to master this plan right here. So, with that being said, you know, join us, support the work, get on board with the team, you know, reach out to us. You can find us online. You can find us at clean360.org. You can find us at rootsclinic.org, timelistgroup.org. So get with us and, you know, have a blessed day. Right on.